everybody knows exactly what they're doing, wherever they are on the BBC Online. But there's 3 different versions of it. Why? Okay, this is a carousel pattern. Exactly the same. One has thumbnails at the bottom of pictures, and the other one just has these dots. So it's coded differently, it's designed slightly differently, but it does exactly the same thing. So we're trying to stop this from happening because we need to be more efficient to be able to move faster. And the way to do that is to share and to talk to each other more. So it feels like at times like we're doing great things, but we're pulling in different directions, and that can be painful at times. And I'm the person that has to stop people from doing that and saying, can you talk to this person, you talk to this person, and get people talking across the different products. Okay, so what we need is a degree of standardization. Okay? Now, if there are designers in the audience, they'll be thinking, how do you have standardization and innovation? How can those 2 things coexist? Because they seem to be at odds with each other. How can you be creative but have guidelines? How can be things pre-made but then do amazing new things? Well, an example of how it can work is the national grid in the UK, the electricity system network. So in the late 1800s, electricity existed, okay, but there was no domestic use for it. Our houses and our streets were lit by gaslight or by oil lamps or candles or whatever, until the invention of the light bulb. And the light bulb gave us a domestic use for electricity. So that meant that people started getting power generators in their house and in towns, and there was different voltage levels all over the place. So there was hundreds of different kinds of light bulb were made. They all did one thing, they all did the same thing, but they all had to be made slightly differently because of the voltage was different. Until the implementation of the national grid across our country. And that standardized the voltage. And when that happened, innovation went through the roof. It just exploded. Suddenly we had, people were making vacuum cleaners and toasters and irons and kettles and radios and, oh my gosh, televisions. Everything was amazing suddenly, and it took off really fast. So innovation at scale happened and was afforded to us by standardization. So we have this similar kind of effort, and we call this efficiency drive, this objective, 1 service, 10 products, 4 screens, 1 service. And it's an objective for my department, for UX&D. It's not an objective for the rest of the BBC, which is crazy. So we have to get them to understand how sharing and working and talking to each other can make us move faster together, okay?